Times aren't something you can choose, but you can definitely choose the right place to live in. In this video by Tolerance Homes, we'll be comparing two popular countries for relocation and investment, Turkey and the United Arab Emirates. And today we're going to be talking about prices for food in supermarkets and restaurants, the cost of living and expenses you'll incur if you decide to buy property in Turkey or Dubai. It's up to you to decide where to live, but Tolerance Homes is here to help, so this review will be super useful. When you find yourself in a tourist country but not as a tourist, you immediately start paying attention to prices. And they can vary greatly from your expectations, depending on the region, exchange rates today, and even whether you are local or not. But in general, it looks like this. Consumer prices in Dubai are over 80% higher than in Antalya. Restaurant prices are almost 170% higher. Food prices are 2/3 higher. The local purchasing power in Dubai is almost 3 times higher than in Antalya. For a normal life in Dubai, an average family of 4 needs about $3,500 per month. To maintain the same standard of living in Antalya as in Dubai, you will need almost half as much money. All the supplies are imported in the Emirates, and that's why food is so expensive here. There are many supermarkets in Dubai, and their assortment varies depending on their location. In the largest and most prestigious ones, you can find absolutely everything, even pork, which should be a problem in a Muslim country, and the service level there is top-notch. Unlike the UAE, Turkey produces most of its own products and exports a lot of them. Prices for vegetables and fruits are way lower than in many other countries both in Europe and Asia. Meat and dairy products are available in sufficient quantities and at comparable prices. The sausages are not as tasty as we used to, but there is a variety to choose from. There are tons of sweets and pastries. Plus, some products can be much cheaper in the markets than in the shops. To get an even better idea of prices, check out our popular video on the Life in Turkey channel. The link is at the top of the screen. The public transportation in Dubai is not as bad as in other Emirates. There is a metro, buses and other municipal transport. Air conditioning is available not only on buses and trains, but also at bus stops and stations, since it's impossible to stay there in the summer without cool air. However, the main mode of transportation in the city is taxis, with private taxis being cheaper. Special cars with pink roofs are available for women traveling alone without male companions. Public transportation in Turkey is safe and comfortable. Women can easily travel alone throughout the country. There are good quality roads leading to remote villages, comfortable buses connecting cities, and a well-developed network of city buses, dolmuşes and decent trams in major cities. Taxis are municipal, and they can be called by pressing a special button on the street. Such buttons are attached everywhere, and the taxi arrives at that location. Taxis can also travel to remote areas and specific attractions. Aviation is also well developed in Turkey, with cheap flights between cities. There are over 50 airports in the country. Sea transport is also very popular, mainly consisting of ferries that travel between cities in Turkey and also connect it with Greece, Cyprus and other countries. In Istanbul, ferries and high-speed boats are moving people from one side of the Bosphorus to the other. Now let's talk about the cost of housing in Turkey and Dubai, both as a homeowner and as a prospective buyer. But first, let me remind you, we have a whole playlist on the big topic of choosing between Turkey and Dubai. Check the link above. Turkey. When buying property, a 4% tax on its assessed value must be paid. It's called tapu harci. To reduce this tax, many owners try to underestimate the assessed value of the property listed in the tapu ownership certificate. However, recently, to determine the value of the property before the deal, an appraiser from the agency with an SPK license must be invited. The appraisal takes 2 to 4 days depending on the province and costs from $250, which the buyer pays. At the time of property ownership registration, a fee called döner sermaye must be paid to the Land Registry Office. As of March of 2023, this fee is 1,299 lira. It's about $70. Don't forget the cost of sworn translator and notary services required during the transaction process. In Dubai, the property purchase tax is called the transfer of ownership tax. It is the same rate as in Turkey, 4% of the property value, except in Abu Dhabi, where it is only 2%. Sometimes the buyer and seller split this amount evenly, and in the case of new properties, the developer covers half. This tax must be paid when registering the property ownership with the Department of Land Resources. In addition to this tax, there is an administrative fee of about $1.50 that must be paid when conducting the transaction in Dubai. There is also a registration fee, which depends on the value of the property. If the property is worth less than $137,000, the fee will be around $545, but for more expensive properties, it will be twice as much. Dubai's legislation requires the presence of a licensed real estate agent at the contract signing, who handles all necessary paperwork preparation beforehand. When purchasing a new property, the seller covers the agent's fees, while in the case of resale properties, the amount is split equally between both parties. In addition, a fee of around $70 must be paid for the property ownership certificate. This is done when submitting a request to the local court, which will issue the certificate within 3 working days. After going through all the stages of buying a property, it's worth considering the subsequent expenses for its maintenance. In Turkey, the annual property tax, emlak vergisi, ranges from 0.1 to 0.3% depending on the type of property. However, the tax value of the property may differ from the market value. Property insurance. Owners are advised to purchase a DASK policy that covers risks associated with earthquakes and other natural disasters. The price of the policy depends on the value and location of the property, as well as the coverage selected. Utilities, electricity, water, gas, telephone, expenses depend on consumption volumes and local rates. Repairs and renovations. These costs should also be considered in advance and may vary depending on the condition and age of the property. Management and maintenance fees. If your property is located in a residential complex or a gated community, in this case residents pay so-called aidat. These funds go towards cleaning the territory, maintaining the pool, ensuring security and so on. The amount of aidat depends on the class of the complex and the area of your housing. The amount can be from $15 to $150 per month. We've talked about aidat in more detailed way in a special article and video. And here are the expenses of owning a property in the Emirates. There is no annual property tax in the UAE, which is a benefit for property owners. Service charges. These are similar to the Turkish aidat we just talked about. Fees for the maintenance and upkeep of shared facilities and areas such as entrances, elevators, security, pools and gyms. In Dubai, service charges can range from $1.50 to $7 per square meter per year, depending on the quality and location of the property. Insurance. Property owners are recommended to purchase a policy to protect their investment from losses due to damage or theft. The cost of insurance depends on the type and value of the property and can range from 0.1 to 0.5% of the property value per year. Utility bills can be more expensive than in other countries, and first of all, the electricity particularly costly due to the high demand because of the heat. Air conditioning has to be used constantly, and that affects the monthly electricity bills. The average cost of utilities range from $80 to $270 per month. Property management. If you plan to rent out your property while you're away, you'll need a property manager who will find tenants, sign contracts with them, collect and send you rent payments on time, and deal with any issues that arise. These services can cost 5 to 15% of your annual rental income. To imagine the annual expenses of owning real estate in Turkey and the UAE, let's assume you have a 100 square meter apartment. Here's how it looks in the Emirates. Property insurance. Let's say the apartment is worth 1.5 million dirhams, which is more than $400,000. Insurance typically costs 0.1% of the property value. That's 4,500 dirhams per year or about $1,200. Utilities. Let's say your monthly bill is 600 dirhams. That is 72 dirhams per year or about $1,960. Service charges for maintaining the residential complex. We should multiply your 100 square meter by 15 dirhams, for that's the average rate, and you get 1,500 dirhams per year, which is about $400. Rental management if necessary. Let's assume the annual rental income is $19,000 and the rental management services cost 15% of the income. That is 2,850 USD. Add it up and you get expenses of about $6,500 per year. And here are the annual expenses in Turkey for owning a similar 100 square meter apartment. Property tax. Unlike in the UAE, here you have to pay it. Assuming the declared value on the tapu is 2 million Turkish lira or about $77,000, the property tax is 0.1% of the property value, which is 2,000 Turkish lira per year or about $77. Utilities. Let's assume the average monthly utility cost is 2,000 Turkish lira. That's 24,000 Turkish lira per year or about $920. IDAT, or the maintenance fee for the apartment complex. In our case, it's approximately 800 Turkish lira per month. That's 9,600 per year or about $370. Property insurance. The cost of the mandatory desk policy for the year, in our case with officially claimed price, is about 400 Turkish lira or just $15. Rental management, if an agent communicates with the tenants on your behalf. Let's say the annual rental income is $12,000 and the management fee is 15%. That's $1,800 for rental management. When we add everything together, we get the total annual expenses for a hypothetical 100 square meter apartment, which is approximately $3,200. Here again, Turkish real estate is in an advantageous position, with its maintenance noticeably affordable. So, we just compared prices in Turkey and Dubai, expenses related buying and owning property, and prices for food in both countries. It's better to take a pencil and reconsider, and don't forget to leave a comment on this video. In our playlist linked in the description, you can see a comparison of two countries based on other criteria. See you in the next video, Turkey versus Dubai. Let's talk about what to expect when moving into the country and what specific difficulties you can face there. And don't forget, the leading agency for international real estate, Tolerance Homes, is always there for you. You see our contact details on the screen, so save them to your contact list. And now please give a like, ring the bell, and write a comment on the third video of the Turkey vs Dubai series. We would love to see you again.